All right, so here today with my boy Dallas, Mr. McCoy in the building.
Of course, of course.
So,
Tune.
because Love is Blind has been on, we just
Yeah.
wanted to strike up a little conversation about it and pose that question: is love really blind? So, I've watched the show. I've watched, all the seasons of the show, and I mean,
Yeah.
I find it being like a pretty interesting experiment. But I mean, you haven't seen any of this, right?
Nah, this is the first time I heard about it.
None of it. Okay, so essentially, like, it's an experiment where two people, like, a group of guys, a group of girls. I explain it this way: it's like 15 on 15, right? And it's like 15 different rooms, and like you're kind of like speed dating, but like literally like through a wall, so you don't see this person. Like, hence like the blind part. So it's funny because like you talk to these people like 8 hours a day, and it's like, okay, you writing down notes and everything. Like, what did I like about her? What I like about him? And as time progresses,
Yeah.
maybe I recognize a voice and say, oh hey, like I'm glad we can strike up another convo, so on and so forth. But after they get through that, like they usually propose to the person that they want to choose, right? And then from there, they reveal themselves to each other, and that's like the crazy part. You're like, oh crap, like okay, it's the person I've been, feeling, right? So, yeah, then they have a portion of the experiment after that. They stay with each other, and then the wedding goes like pretty much at the end of that. After they stay with each other for a little while, I think like 2-3 weeks, and then they have a wedding, right? Then it's like, okay, like, am I gonna marry this person, or am I gonna give them the no? Like, it didn't work out. So I mean, based upon what I said, you got a good understanding of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, what do you think about that? Like, do you believe love is blind?
I believe love. It's not necessarily blind, but love is a very dangerous emotion, and love can make you blind toward being rational. That's
Get deep here.
Yeah, that's where I think love is blind at. If we're talking about visually, in a visual
like
sense,
appearance wise, like can you like date somebody without seeing them like they have a beautiful soul, a spirit, or like energy?
Yeah,
because you can feel that.
For me, I can't do it. Like, if you're not physically attractive to me, I wouldn't even be able to look your way. Like,
yikes.
I would not.
Damn. So you just John Cena with it, just see right through him.
Yeah. Damn. And the fact that I'm in a relationship right now, I see when I look at other females, other women, like, you're not attracted to me at all. Like, it just,
so love blinds you in that way. Love blinds you in that way. Well, that's funny because like I've always been like a stickler for like looks, and people call me shallow for it, but yeah, you gotta like what you like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, or love what you like, however you want to view it. But like with me personally, although I am a stickler for appearance, like I do want someone who's like obviously fit or maybe attractive or whatever, right? I think I could do the experiment and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because like I say maybe I'm a conversationalist, so like okay, I can really like pique someone's interest and see if like maybe in return can they like how that energy exchange goes. Like, can they pique mine as well? Yeah. But it's an interesting experiment, man.
Yeah, like, I feel like I can definitely fall in love with somebody through communication only.
Right. Like, only.
Yeah.
Me too. Okay,
like,
I could
just
but you don't think you could do the experiment then? Like, just imagine you go in there, right, and you talking to different people, like maybe it's something about this girl's voice. You're like, oh man, I love her voice. Yeah. And then like you say, shoot, you ask her like, oh, what's your favorite show, right? She hit you with like 100x 100. You're gonna be like, okay, like, cool, right? You don't want to talk to her, right?
Yeah.
So that's just what I'm saying. Like, maybe once you see them, maybe your like perspective on that changes. Cause like, I wouldn't say, or based upon what I know about you, like, and we had this conversation off camera, but like, you've dated outside your race. Yeah. I've dated outside my race too, right? So like, say if we go on the experiment and the chick is like, I don't know, white,
Okay.
But she's like dope as hell in every
Yeah.
way. Like y'all watch the same shows,
Yeah.
y'all dress the same. Like you love everything about this girl
Yeah.
visually. You don't think you could like?
Nah, I'm not gonna let race get in the way of what I like. Like that's such a stereotype.
Okay, so I'm unraveling
I
you. So you would
literally
do the
hate that. I
experiment.
don't like that at
You would
all.
do the experiment.
Yeah,
because
I
you
would.
agree that you can
I
fall in
would.
love through
Yeah.
communication only.
Yeah. I mean, it's so weird. Like, okay, say if you fall in love with this person through communication, and then y'all get to look at each other, it is just ain't no way. Like, they just like everybody has a
positive
certain
ain't no way, or is it like a negative ain't no way?
negative. Like,
Damn.
everybody has a standard of people that they're attracted to. Like, if you
What's your
don't
standard?
fit,
What's your standard?
okay. We gonna go off my girl's build. I love her very vibrant and lush hair. Like I love her curly hair.
So if it ain't no lushness in the hair, it's kind of like, well, I fell in love with you
Not
through
only
this
that,
wall.
I mean,
Your conversation is amazing. You're a beautiful person, inside out. Well, inside at
Yeah.
least. Outside, maybe your hair's not luscious enough. So you
no,
wouldn't
it's
do
not
it?
only it's not. I mean, it's not only hair that goes in their perspective. It's a whole bunch. Like I like an athletic build. I just don't want no oversized woman. I don't want no very skinny woman. Like you gotta have some muscle on you. You gotta be a little bit tall.
So to you, love is not blind. Basically, you
Yeah.
you could go through the experiment, but the moment you see him and like it's not working, it's botched.
Yeah. I'm so serious. I'm so dead set like you can have such great conversations with this person. Let's say if y'all get married to each other, okay. One day there's gonna be a day where y'all run out of things to talk about. So then what?
So you just look at each other. That's funny. That's funny. Well, I get my perspective on this, like, cause I know, like, I'm the type of guy, like, although I do find, like, or you know, I guess my partner, like, I like to find my partner, like,
Yeah.
pleasing to like my eye at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
But looking just at how I love personally, like, conversation is my thing. Like, of course, like once you know we get past certain intangibles, it's like, okay, how do we communicate? And that's like number one on my list. Like, with anything, like as far as like that personality wise and different traits, like we cannot communicate, bro. It's straight. Like I'm good off of it because if we can't communicate, then that means we can't be open with each other. That's a form of communication. Like open, honesty, all of these things, right? They come from communication. Having disputes, the only way we can get through this is communication, right? So I don't know. I think I'd be able to do it if that person checks off like all them boxes. Like, okay, they're cool, you know, they're funny, you know. If your voice sounds nice, I mean that's a plus. But you know, it's like I think I could do it.
Okay.
I think I could do it.
And since love is blind is the topic, let's talk about how does love affect someone in different ways? In what ways can love be blind? Past communication and
this is how it's been blind for me.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, and I guess this is more in a metaphorical sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we had this conversation off camera too. Like, whenever you're in love with someone, like, say if like physically, right? Like, this is a beautiful woman, and then, like, it's some things about her you like, of course, right?
Yeah.
And there's some things that you like actually absolutely despise, right? And like you're willing to put up with extra stuff because you're like really attracted to this woman, or like, you know, whatever. Y'all have like, I don't know, probably some toxic stuff going on there. But that's how it was blinded for me. Like maybe I'm like, okay, I got this bad chick, bro. Like, you know, she's cool, she dresses nice, but you know, behind closed door, like, you know, we argue a lot. Maybe, you know, she likes to throw vases and stuff. Like,
nah,
it's like crazy, bro. Like every time we get in an argument, she can admit she's wrong. Like, and it's like, okay, I'm willing to put up with this extra stuff, and that's like blinding me, you know. So I mean, that's one way it's blinding me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but I know what I want these days, so we don't deal with stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like love is also blind in a sense that people lose their people tend to lose themselves when they're in love with people.
Absolutely.
They lose like what makes them happy. What makes them their own sense of person.
Like rather than like them being happy for themselves,
or
what makes
them
themselves,
authentic.
it's like you're trying to please that other person, and like you're doing it so.
And so they change themselves for that other person's liking, and they're losing themselves. Love is blind, and the point that a lot of people in society go through depression because when their other person breaks up with them, or when they leave for a certain amount of time, people just sit there and do nothing. They sit and talk to themselves, play games, but nobody's getting out and enjoying life. Like you involve yourself in such ways where everything you do is revolved around this person you're infatuated with. I feel like love is blind, where you can't even focus on yourself, and that's not healthy at all.
That's deep.
That's not healthy at all.
That's deep. That's not healthy at all.
And I used to be that person for some time.
That's tough. I'm glad you made it up out of there.
I'm glad.
That sounds deep, dark, and scary, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Shoot, you got anything else you want to comment on as far as this topic?
Nah.
I think
love is blind partially.
I think to conclude, I guess I would say I would believe you would have to like put different individuals in that setting to experience that, because I think a lot of people are like, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? So it's just like the fact that you're such a beautiful individual, I don't care what you look like, long as you have a beautiful heart, right?
Yeah.
And versus the other person was like, nah, I need someone who, like, I don't know, mirrors maybe my image, or like smoking hot, whatever. So I just think it's like I don't know, I'm always kind of straddling the fence on stuff like this. I'm just kind of in the middle with it, but personally, I mean, it just depends on what you like,
Yeah.
So, love is blind and it isn't. I guess that's the conclusion. What do you guys think out there?
Yeah, love is love.
Signing out.